Hi, my name is Chloe and I used to suffer with emetophobia from the age of 5 years old. I'm really happy to say I 100% do not have emetophobia anymore. You won't believe how many situations I used to avoid or obsess about, but let me tell you my story. I started Thrive when I was pregnant with my first child. I had suffered from emetophobia for as long as I could remember. In many ways, I was a typical emetophobe in that I had anxiety and would avoid certain situations in case I was sick or to prevent sickness. I had tried various types of therapy for many years to overcome my anxiety, but nothing worked. I felt helpless and powerless to do anything about it. Then I fell pregnant, and with that came the dreaded morning sickness. Thankfully, I found Anne and we began working through Thrive together. I was encouraged by her confidence that if I followed Thrive and completed all the exercises in the book, that I would overcome my phobia and anxiety. Sure enough, as the weeks progressed, my anxiety eased, and although I was still suffering with morning sickness, I was able to cope with it, something I never thought I'd be able to do. I gave birth to my daughter Ada, and a completely new chapter began for me. I was confident and happy, and even managed to get married without a hint of nerves. Again, this was something I never thought I could have imagined before Thrive, as I was always worried I'd be too nervous to walk up the aisle and that my anxiety would cause me to retch or be sick in front of everyone. I'd since learned that this was down to my social anxiety. However, although my life had changed significantly due to the birth of Ada, I hadn't completed Thrive, and slowly but surely I began falling back into old habits. The stresses of my husband's new job and worries about work began to take their toll, and I began losing my self-esteem. Then I fell pregnant for a second time and unfortunately suffered with morning sickness once more. I found myself phoning Anne in a panic and was instantly reassured that with her help, along with Thrive, we would get me back on track, except this time we would complete the programme. It wasn't long before my anxiety began to ease again, and then my son Harry was born. We kept working through Thrive, and it was needed as the pressures of having 2 young children, moving house and work commitments meant that I had let my self-esteem get incredibly low. Both myself and my husband were tired and struggling to cope with the stress in our lives, so we both worked through Thrive independently with Anne, and that helps immensely with our relationship. Now I have completed the programme, and I could never have imagined how our lives would transform thanks to Anne and Thrive. I'm a completely different person to when I first began this journey. I'm able to cope with problems in a way I never thought I would, and if I find myself brooding, I can stop myself in my tracks and move on. My husband recently joked that he used to be the chilled out one and that the tables have completely turned, and he's right. I don't get stressed out anymore. I know that I'm in control and can look at a problem and calmly try to solve it instead of worrying. And as for emetophobia, it's long gone. I now understand that it's not real, it's just an emotional overreaction that I had created. Without it, I would have no need to avoid any situation in life, and I'm confident in knowing that I won't teach this to my children. Thrive really is life-changing, and if you want to be the best possible version of you, then I would highly recommend this programme to anyone.
Thank you, Chloe.